Hey everybody, welcome. This is a special Saturday edition, special 4th of July edition of Going Optimal. I'm hopping on here during my weekend holiday because Just Lolaman is running another streamer showdown for M21. I couldn't resist that. I was quite happy to be invited. Let's see, who our lineup today is Pro Fumato TK, Mobius, Kanata MTG, Ham TV, MTG Nerd Girl, Voxy, Mike Sigrist, and myself. So quite the lineup of competitors today. And we're just waiting on one more person to get online here, and then we're gonna jump in and get going. Today's draft is not going to be on Arena. The draft itself is going to be on mtgadraft.herokuapp.com, which regulars know we use every Friday to do our chat gauntlet. And this is a very similar thing. We're going to do an offline side website draft, and then export our resulting decks to Arena, and then use the friend system to battle in Arena. And let's see. So, and then we're gonna do unlike Chat Gauntlet though, which is me playing best of one against everybody I drafted with. Today is going to be more of your traditional 3-round FNM style. Well, the FNM sometimes 4 rounds, more like a classic draft pod style. 8 of us are going to draft together in one pod, and then one of us is going to go 3-0. 3 people are going to go 2-1, and the 3-0 and the 3-2-1s advance to a second pod. This is pod number 2, and the top 4 of pod 1 and pod 2 are going to go on to play in a third pod. So our goal today is to 2-1 or better and make it to the third pod. It's going to be a tough climb. I am not the best player in this pod. I might be one of the lowers when it comes down to it. Oops, hold on. We want to go to the left monitor here, though, because now, over here, we're just about ready. I want to go like this. I also want to I don't want to spank my sponsor. That would be very rude. I do want to thank my sponsor, and I think they would appreciate that. My sponsor is CardKingdom.com. They are purveyors of all sorts of physical magic stuff, everything you need for your tabletop game. You can find at CardKingdom.com, and if you go to my affiliate link in the panels, they know that you're there from here. That helps me out. And please don't spank them if you do go visit in person. That's not okay. We keep our hands to ourselves. I mean, get consensus and a private room, and I don't care. Consensus. I mean, consent. Consensus comes from consent. All right, waiting on Mobius, maybe? Come on, start this draft and save my drowning pitch here. Let's talk about the format a little while we're waiting then. I have consensus, speaking of consensus on the format, is that it is very aggro. And what that means to me, unless you're talking about a format like Zendikar, though, is not necessarily, so far what I've seen is that what it means is there's multiple good aggro decks. And when a format has multiple good aggro decks, then everybody needs to deploy their strategy starting on turn 2. In some cases, in this point, starting on turn 1. And I think that's part of it. But let's see. Okay, we got the draft here. This is one of the cards that people talk about as being one of the drivers of the aggro in the format. This is a great little 2-drop that is tough to kill. What's our rare, though? We've got this Sovereign that likes cats and dogs. Or likes cats, gives you protection from doggies. I think we just want Hallowblade, right? Sovereign seems build aroundy and maybe interesting, but this is exactly what this format is, right? So I think we start there, but we also need to be aware that this is a pod that's going to be well up on the aggro stuff and maybe trying to get it themselves. Yeah, this I guess doesn't suck. I mean, it's a 2-3 for 3. I don't know actually how many cats there are. I know there's a lot, but like if it was draw a card or something, I don't know. It's just not quite as attractive a package to me as the Hollow Blade. Yeah, it feels more like a doggy set than a cat set, right? All right, I'm going to take the Hollow Blade. Red, a top color. Boros, a top color pair. When Boros is a top color pair, you know it's an aggro format. Coatl is an excellent card for that deck, but I think I just like taking a shock here over Coatl. Note that another common is missing. I don't know if they added foils to this or not. I don't think so. So with shock, like something was taken over shock. Maybe it could be the other red removal spell. Could be -4/-4. But given that shock goes quite nicely with Hollow Blade and Coatl does not go nicely with Hollow Blade, we're going to go with the shock and see where that goes. Wheel and Sure Strike would make me feel good for sure, Matt. If we let's keep an eye on that. If we don't, maybe it's a sign that we're fighting too hard for the red, or maybe we get pushed off both of these colors. I don't know. And who's passing to us? Looks like MTG Nerd Girl is passing to us right now, and we're shipping it to Siggy. All right, like Experimental Overload here, given the shock already here, makes me want to hedge and give this card a try. I've never actually played the Overload before. There is another shock. Yeah, Dragonfire was what I was thinking of, Razor, that might be out of last pack. Yeah, second shock is going to make our deck 100%. Do you want to hedge on the Overload or just grab another shock and stay low down? I mean, you could just make that argument. We got 37 seconds from my end to decide. I'll let chat pipe in a little bit, but I definitely think it's shock or Overload. Just curious. And Havoc Jester is nice, but I'd rather take the Overload. Couple people for Overload. Matt doesn't love the Overload. Robert's on shock. I'm sitting here leaning on shock right now, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to stick with shock. This is a lovely start given the nature of this format. This is somewhat signally, though. Nothing left in the colors we started with of any merit, and we have a Finishing Blow and a Llanowar Visionary, two excellent commons in new colors. So, late Visionary, I think Finishing Blow maybe not as late as we think, given the nature of this format. This tends to be can be pretty clunky if you're trying to deal with this type of creature. But we can take a Visionary, and I've had success with red-green. If we pivoted to red-green and listened to this table and became the green drafter, I'm okay with that. And Crash Through, certainly at its best here over where it was it Dominaria at first? I know Dominaria had one of those. But anyway, Crash Through is pretty good in a format that cares about drawing twice and having spells in the graveyard and casting spells and stuff, but... another Pitchburn Devils here is what's jumping out at me. Well, of course, we'll scroll down. Oh, sorry. I was thinking this was... Pitchburn Devils is not jumping out at me. I thought this was the 5/5. That 5/5 that sacrifices, the uncommon. Pitchburn Devils is not going to be better than even like a Replicator here or a Battlements, though. If we get back into Boros, we'll love having the Battlements, but we can try and listen to this signal a little bit. Yeah, Havoc Jester is what I was confusing it with. And Chrome Replicator is a card I've had a hard time coming around on. And with the speed of the format, though, I think it's not, especially with what we're doing so far, not really what I want to lean into. It does feed 4 power, that's true. But we could take like a track down. Yeah, Buckeye likes the track down. I kind of like the Battlements. You don't think it's a signal, but it's also... If there's any chance that we're going to be in white, I feel like I got to take that here. This is a tough one. I don't love any of the green enough here not to take the battlements, because I think the red white deck with the battlements plan is really good. Yeah, so that was kind of a hedge to maybe we still stay there, but I'm willing to now see this and go, okay, look, we got to listen to them telling us about green. Yeah, I mean, Chorister is very good, but maybe this is more green signaling, right? And we do have the foot in it in Visionary. I think we should take a Oak over a Chorister at this spot and really... Wujo wants a red card. That's fair, Wujo. They're just a little underwhelming. You gotta go Hobble Fiend or Kerr? Now I've convinced John, and now I'm off it. That's a tough one. We may come to like that was a pivot point that I may look back on and go, that was where we should have been green. Because here's a Dreadmaw, but what we're doing doesn't suck either. Yeah, here's another Kerr. Shieldmate is possible. We could take a Dreadmaw and keep this hedge alive. Because white does seem pretty cut off here. But we take a red card, and certainly we're red. I think I'm going to take the Kerr because we know we're red, right? Like, if we knew we were green, Dreadmaw would be a better pick here, I think. But red is where we're definitely, so I want to listen to that. This is something else to still be here. Nobody wants this deck. Like, this is like the fate saying, oh, you're red, are you? Well, what about a Conclave Mentor? Would that change? I mean, because there's nothing else. I mean, we take a Furor. I can't see not taking the Mentor here and at least keeping it open. Nothing else here is even remotely as good. Yeah, we could try Naya. Maybe we... But Naya aggro seems like a mana disaster. That being said, Kerrs are not... Like, what we could do is cut the Kerrs, find fixing, and splash shocks. I don't love splashing shocks, but at least they do fit into a curve late, and there's enough things that you want to kill around here that could still be a reasonable thing to do. The Sovereign came back. Do we even want it, though? We can just take the Dino instead. Oh yeah, there are green kitties, right? I guess we'll take the Sovereign over this Death Touch creature and see if we manage to do something with the kitties. Not counting on it, but it's not impossible. Scourge goes right into this plan. All right, pivot is happening. We are green-white, and we'll see about splashing, see if we find the tools to splash. On its own, you're never going to be happy with the creature this produces at the point in the curve that you're producing it, but the secondary ability along with the Conclave Mentor and stuff is exactly what we want to do here. I'm going to take the Sands to help possibly fixing our core colors helps us splash. So we definitely want the Selesnya land. Well, let's see. One Kerr that could have been like I think this could have been a Dreadmaw and like that Burl Fist or whatever. So we did miss out on a couple things here, but it looks like we at least found our lane. So it was a little tricky to navigate here, but we're clearly being signaled. Nobody in the whole draft up to the Conclave Mentor wanted that card. So, and the track down is still here. All right, we have a plan. Like, there's counter math I'm not even going to be able to do here. I'm just going to cast it and watch. Yeah, feet would be great. Scorching Dragonfire would be better on the splash than the shocks. We could take that, presuming we're gonna splash, but oh, and there's Demonic Embrace. Oh, this is gonna beat us. I can feel it. No, we're gonna get rid of it with the kitty, right? I hate passing this. This is such a good card. It's destroyed us at least once. Yeah, the only time I've experienced it, it destroyed me. That's why. But Visionary. No, I just hadn't gotten there yet. I think Visionary is correct. But I was lingering on the Dragonfire because of how much I would love to splash it, but we don't even have the tools to splash yet. So let's take the thing that's clearly in what we're doing in our colors. Yeah, Embrace is good, but you'll have to go hug somebody else. Well, we'll see. I feel like we might get shipped some red here because we did cut it pretty hard, but this Mentor came late, and then we wheeled a Scourge after the Mentor and then a Surge after the Scourge, and it was like, okay. Falconer Adept has worked for me in my blue-white deck, but it did have a lot of tools to bounce stuff out of the way that we don't necessarily have here yet. Yeah, I know 3/3 Defender. Coatl could be something we look to splash. We could just take another Visionary. Kind of looking at the Adept, but I guess again we don't have as good tools to enable it, and we can just start going wide with Visionaries. All right. We'll take that. Stacked at 3 for sure. This is not really a 3, though. Yeah, how about some removal spells? I'm with you, Timnos. And we have a good chance here if we can back up the synergistic stuff we've drafted already and just the generically powerful Visionaries with some interaction. There's a feat, which is interaction. Here's this Masticore. Masticore has been problematic and not problematic, but feat is so good, we'll take the feat. Everybody's all over the feat. Here's a Tranquil Cove that could help us splash that Coatl or whatever, but feat is what we are doing. Yeah, I was not going to take feat. I was just gazing at the Masticore and thinking about that card. I'm not sure exactly how good it is. I think it's got really good matchups, that Masticore does. Well, Sonic, I'm sorry that you had results that led to that tilt, but sounds like shutting it down for the day is correct. Welcome. Take some deep breaths around here and in with the good air, out with the bad. Veteran is also exactly what we're trying to do. Hopefully, and good. There's nothing that really makes me regret taking the Veteran. Wouldn't mind a Watchdog. Would probably run a Short Sword, but this is what we want to do. I kind of think they should experiment with taking the hand smoother off for like a month and just seeing what people think. Because they know, they do the did you enjoy your game before or after? And the reason they do that is so they can set up some A/B testing on that kind of front to be able to say, okay, we've made this dramatic change. Let's see if our baseline of, oh my gosh, I snapped the Mentor and then saw the Acolyte and the Swift response. Do we try and wheel the Mentor? No, I think you'd have to announce it, James. Like, it would be, I think, immoral or irresponsible to change that system without clearly announcing it. But then I think it would be worth doing and seeing. Yeah, pick 5. I don't think we're going to wheel this mentor, but there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're not wheeling this mentor. But we need the Acolyte to support the mentor we have, right? Ugh, you're just here at the wrong time. These two being together is really sad. Yeah, we wheeled the last one. No, we didn't. The first one came in like pick 6 or 7 or something like that. And this is pick 5. Do the math on how many cards are going to be left in this pack. I hope so, but I think especially given that we're playing in pod, that these drafters are going to be too good to just leave that there when they could take it from me, you know? Meteorite could be a thing we're ramping to with all of these visionaries. It does help with the splash. But there's a chorister. I think we just take the chorister. And then maybe we wheel a track down. Again, I don't think we're wheeling much from these packs, but with Light of Promise probably is the last. Prismite and Light of Promise have to be overcome, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, the last picks here are going to be Prismite and Light of Promise. Wingmare jumped out at me as perfectly playable as a 3-drop, although we're very stacked at 3, and we have another chorister, which is fine. I don't know if we want to run too many more than 2, but 2 is definitely fine. Maybe more given the themes of this deck. We'll see. You missed Meteor Golem? Here. Hey, where is it? Oh, there. Yeah, Steed's not bad, especially given our triple visionary, because we can cast it a turn early. And I'm going to go for a snare spinner to add to our ability to get things of relevance down on 2. Oh, sorry, here, let's get back to draft. Oh, sorry, left monitor is what you need. There you go. I hit the right button. I hit my draft button, which takes me to the draft scene. Oops, left monitor. Anyway, we have a snare spinner or a truffle snout. We're stacked at 3, and I don't want the short sword here. I'm going to take a snare spinner to fill out, continue filling out playable 2s. Snout's fine. We're just pretty stacked there right now. Sage, I like picking up here over Sentinel or Mutt. Yeah, I guess we are 2 of 3. We could take the Mutt for the board, but Sage is a little more main deckable. I'll look for a late Mutt. We can get Mutts super late. I don't think people really want them, except like us, very super late. So we'll take our chances. Yeah, the Visionaries and the double, or maybe we don't have double. Where is it? We have a track down. Track down can do it too. Revitalize could do it. Doesn't really matter, but I guess we're taking it here given lack of anything else specific that we want for our deck. And it is not unplayable. It's not really for this deck, but we'll take it. Snout does have a counter, you're right. Maybe I should have considered the Truffle Snout more on the counter front, but I do stand by the thickness of our 3s, although maybe it is better enough than our existing that we should take it for upgrades. Cove could help us splash something. Blue, we've passed a couple of quaddles, but hey, Watchdog comes around, that's great. Oh my goodness! How wrong was how is this still here? Hooray, everybody! I was certainly not counting on that. That was a ridiculous wheel. Oh, and here, Prismite. Oh, that's right, because the Swamp was still in the pack. I was a pack early, I think, or something. This was the one where I was talking Prismite and Swamp or whatever. Amazing. We still have a third pack. This is coming together. Grim Tutor, not particularly playable. Oi, this is an ugly pack for us, though, unfortunately. Not even... You know, you could give us, like, a dual land that we could use. Oh, my goodness. What a gross pack. This gets counters, though, so we should maul. Are we going to uprise enough? Nah. Uprising is not really a thing here. But Mauler... Yeah, Mauler has some synergies with what's going on, so we'll... The thing is, this is probably wheel. Like, I don't know, is there a hate draft? Like, we could take the Sanctum. I really think this is going to wheel. The in-pod play is significant, is real here. But yeah, we'll be grown-ups, but I think we could take a chance on wheeling that. You want the Mauler? Yeah. Yeah, I want the Mauler too. I just want it on the wheel because I'm greedy. Cultivate could help us with the Splashy Splash. Return a permanent card from... This is a... I've not played the Fungal Rebirth before. Feels like there could be something to that. Waker of Waves is great for the reanimation strategy. We do have Blossoming Sands, though, and another Visionary. Do you like Visionary number 4, Pegasus number 1, or the Cultivate? Or the Rebirth? What's the time? Maybe with 56 seconds, I'll do a 30-second poll here. So we've got Cultivate, Rebirth, Visionary, Peggy. And here again is our curve and what we're looking at down here. I wouldn't mind a Visionary Peggy as well, but we can't have both of those. Looks like a lot of support for the Visionary still. Just cranking out Visionaries in this draft. Huh, Rebirth? Wait, I must have misspelled it. There was more support for the Visionary. I took the Visionary on... Oh, and Watcher is... I mean, we technically have this this potential blue splash. I don't think necessarily the Watcher is good enough, though. But there's also not much else in this pack. We could try splashing an Incinerator. Because I screwed up the commas. Sorry. That's what happened. Still, I think Visionary won, right? Stick Lowdown. You like the Peggy over the Watchdog? I guess we may wheel the Watchdog. Yeah, I screwed up the poll, but I think we got the right result. Having some air defense seems like this seems just better than the Snare Spinner. Good with counters. Burl Fist. We don't have much going on at 4 yet. I think a Burl Fist here is fine. Or a Mauler. We can take another Mauler. Being counter-themed and cat-themed. And easier to cast. This always leaps out at me as being much better than the Mauler, but in this deck, I think we do want the Mauler. Maybe we'll wheel that thing anyway. Oak combos with the Visionary, but Mauler combos with all the +1/+1 benefits we have, and with the Feline Sovereign. I'll take an Oak too if we can get it, but I do like leaning to the Kitty here. A little bit of extra synergy in the Kitty than the Oak. Oh, Prismite can go. You will not be played. Another Invigorating Surge, which came very late to us before. We could try and be greedy here and wheel the Surge that others don't seem to want and take a Gale Swooper. Very nice aggro. And based on wheeling this, honestly, I didn't think we were going to wheel this Mentor. And oh, did I accidentally? Oh, get back in here. I'm trying to cut the Prismite. Wheeling the Mentor gives me hope that we could even wheel this Surge, and we wheeled the first Surge. So let's take the Swooper and get greedy. And yeah, we probably get the Strike on the wheel if we don't get the Surge, which doesn't suck either. Yeah, probably not playing the battlements, although, like, if you're going wide enough, like, imagine, like, the battlements adds power to the board if you're aggressive, equal to the number of creatures you're attacking with, right? So if you find yourself attacking with 3-4 creatures, it's basically like at three attacking creatures, you've got a 3/3 vigilant, right? You know, that spreads it out. Oh, Pride Malkin. I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm just saying it's imminently playable, but perfect. Where have all the Pride Malkin been? We want like 12 of these. Probably not splashing the shocks at this point, no. Didn't get there, although we could take the Crag if we wanted to support that. But I don't think we need to. I think we just, between the counter and the cat, this is better for us than something that helps us splash shock. Yeah, we bricked hard on removal, but this is a format that where you can get away with it if we're just wide and aggressive enough. But if we fall behind, we're in big trouble. But we can probably cut this here. Yeah, we saw one destroy target tapped creature, and we took something like Mentor over, something obviously very good for our deck. We are best of 3. This is where we could grab a Return to Nature if we're not trying to cultivate Splash, which I don't think we are. Although, could help us. It would allow us to run shocks. I just don't think we need to. I think the deck is good enough without the Splash, so we just want to aim for consistency. And that's going to go board. Five. Actually, we'd cast this to set up the static ability. Might end up making this another 3, you know? Only ever saw 1 feat of resistance, too. Maybe we can catch one of those last chance here. Not a chance, last chance. I mean, I got to, right? We're cutting the splash. We've got the kitties, and we want the counters. And we've got doggies. We actually have a deck to play this land. What do you know? This deck is funny. We're not running this. This only works if you have flyers. We do not really. We have, Pegasus. That is not consistent enough. So we'll take the 4-drop and probably not run it, or we could cut like a Village Rites. Yeah, if we get that doggy on the wheel, that'd be amazing. Rebirth was high on some people's list, and we got it on the wheel here. Azusa, stay lost. We don't need you. The presence of the sands helps justify the sanctuary. But this might be our 17th land. We might go 23-17, but think of it as 23-16 with a spell land. And we did it. We got our doggy. Cats and dogs living together. Now, do we get screwed because, like, cats you control get protection from dogs? So if our Tempered Veteran was a dog, that would be a problem, but it's not, so we're okay. We'll take a shield mate. I don't know if we're that aggro, that low to the ground. Track down a consideration. And the crag for the possible shock splash if we wanted it. Well, I like how we found our lane, gang. Let's see how it does. I'm happy with how that draft went in terms of reading the table and responding accordingly. A lot of playables, so we're going to focus on high synergy, high, like maybe we just cut the gnarled sage and leave that in the board. A lot of visionaries that aren't ramping us to anywhere, but you can think of the visionaries as go wide, as almost, you know, like if you had 4 of those Legion lieutenants or whatever, it's something along that mentality. Even though you're not ramping to anything, just a 2/2 for 3 that replaces itself immediately is nice. And yeah, we can 2-spell sooner. It's true. You don't always need to go for some huge fatty. You can 2-spell. We do have a wildwood scourge that could get quite big. Anyway, back to making the tough cuts. We need probably cutting 1 track down at least. I don't think we need a snare spinner, because we ended up solid on, I think we can cut a shield mate. And then this would be 24. If we want to cut, do you like 24, 16, and risking the sanctuary as a 16th, or do you like the 17th land plan? I mean, we do have these 4 visionaries, so if we can make it to 3, we're probably not going to like get. We don't have a curve above 4, and we got 4 visionaries, so I think I like just staying to 16. Fiddles likes the 23-17, but maybe I'm... yeah, well, track down had me thinking about, like, card draw, but we also cut the gnarled sage, so I'm down with putting the track down and going to 17. Like, 16 with track down or 17 without. You can look at the draft log. I'm not going to. I don't care if you do. Just don't tell me anything. So I'm going to do 1 poll on that. Let's do a 30-second poll on 16 or 17, where I'm thinking, like I said, if we do 16, it's going to be adding back in a card that helps us find a land. Like, track down can find a land, so it's kind of like your 16 and a half or 17. What land is eliminated? Well, we'll decide. That shouldn't matter for the poll, does it? Pretty close, but the 16s... may have it here. Yeah, I think the sanctuary is good for us. It is. We have the cat dog content, and we have the +1/+1 counter theme. Like 1, 2, 3. Do we have other stuff too? I don't know about bird, goat, ox, or snake. I don't think so. Elf druid's not on the list. Another kitty. Hydra is a hydra, not a snake. And then these 2 kitties. So we have 6. Oh, 7. Acolyte's a kitty. I didn't know that. 7. Yeah, that's good. No, I haven't, because I've never had a deck even remotely close to where, you know, like those of you who watch me a lot, you know I do not put in a land that taps for colorless mana lightly. But in this case, it has the goods. And I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, this is what we're doing. So we're going to export to Arena and get to deck building. I like this deck. I don't know how it's going to do, but I like how we drafted, and I like that we ended up with a nice, solid-looking deck. Good time zone, Magic Star 1. Glad you could join us. those in, and in case we do want to decide to splash some red, we'll get some cool lands in, and then also get some lands in the board. Don't know if anybody's redeemed anything, but well, let's go with Avon's. All right, and then here, actually I want to go sideboard, whatever, I'll throw one of these in and one of these in. Oh, I guess there was already lands in the board from the draft. That's good. Okay, so there's enough lands to splash there anyway. Good, good. 7 wins with a life gain deck. Good to hear. It's possible. And let's see. Katana is ready. Okay, so I gotta hold on. Let me say stream. Oops, that's shoddy. I gotta let her know what I am. I'm going optimal pound 32646. We're all now sharing our our numbers in Discord so we can challenge each other. Oh, there she is. Sorry. She gave me hers, so I can do it this way. I'm not seeing her online. Oh, there we go. Challenge match, 40 card, best of 3. We're just doing a limited tournament match? Here we go. Yeah, we'll just do limited tournament match. I think that's what we want. And Battlefield Right, here we go. Oh, I gotta remember I can actually enable emotes against my fellow streamers. I doubt I will be experiencing much in the way of bad manners, although experiencing some bad openers. Show me a forest on top, and this hand is mwah, but we're gonna mulligan this. This is a fine keep. I'm gonna pitch the track down and just try and get there naturally with what we've got in hand here. Although it is a turn 3 play, like I could get rid of the Mauler, but what we want to do is find a turn 3 play naturally into the Acolyte. So I'm just going to do this and hope we find one of our cheap creatures. And say hello. Not one of our cheap creatures, but actually the Swooper is okay if we brick next draw, because we can play... we already had it in the Mauler, but like we can just hold the Acolyte until we have 2 creatures. I'm just happy to get some more creatures, so now even if we face some removal, we are likely to have double target for the Acolyte, and that's when this card falls down a little bit, is when you are kind of forced to cast it based on the board state, but you don't have the 2 creatures for it. I'm going to offer the Watchdog. I doubt there's any way she accepts the trade, given that the Singer can get big with some spells, and with the red-blue, suggestive of the red-blue spell deck. We also got lucky and found ourselves, well, lucky. There are 4 of these in the deck. So we found a Visionary. We get to cast that on 3. Perfect. Would have been really sad if we had found nothing to do on 3. Mabanap considered pitching a Plains Yes, you could consider pitching a plains, but then you're basically saying if we brick on lands, we're going to spend one of our turns tracking down a land. And I just decided I'd rather not spend 2 to find the land there and just try and stick with the 3 lands we already had. Yeah, Chorister will drop next turn because basically Acolyte, Chorister into Acolyte next turn seems great. And then we do have this Singer here threatening to get big, and that makes me want to... Yeah, well, actually, watch for the counterspell. I'm going to swoop and kind of hope they counterspell, and then set up the next turn Chorister Acolyte, which we want to resolve better anyway. In fact, actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to go ahead and... Like, we can offer up the dog, and if she pumps the Stinger and kills it, we do get to drop a Mauler. It gets a +1/+1 counter, and then next turn, we get Acolyte plus Chorister. So it's kind of like there's a nice fallback plan here if this doesn't work. Or we can even do, we can do Chorister or Mauler on the same turn here. Yeah, let's dog attack only. Offer that up to the... Okay, that's good too. I expected that to get eaten. The fact that we get a trade out of it is incredible, but it makes me want to start... Well, we'll play the Mauler, and if that gets countered, then we get to follow with the Chorister. And the Chorister is going to be better on this board if our Mauler gets countered. And, oops, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Since we got to pay, let's pay. Wow, I thought I was canceling. She says, oops. I almost didn't realize, I figured we were getting countered there and didn't realize it was a whiff. Oh man, how about, is this okay? What if we do this? Oh, although if they have another one, are we playing around another Lofty Denial? We could just play Swooper. I'm gonna do Swooper now and see if we can't verify the absence of a counter here. Matt just is like, jam it. I'm like, well, we saw the first one. Let's make sure we don't get tagged by the second one. John's like, they don't have another one. You sure? It can happen. Yeah, maybe it's another draw spell, but that Swooper was kind of must counter, right? So I think we've answered the question. Now, either one of the top 3 had to be a counter, and they would have, and you wouldn't even keep a counter on top with an opt right now anyway, because our board is too good. So now I feel very comfortable casting the Acolyte, even though she has seen many fresh cards here. All right, now I'm extra comfortable casting an Acolyte, and we're gonna go Flyer, and just gonna go Mauler with it, and now I'll just go, I'll put it on the Visionary, and then we get everything big enough to... Like, Mauler makes one thing huge and beats the Crab, but Visionary makes 2 things that can both attack, so I like that play. Yeah, I thought of that too. I should have mentioned it, John. We could have played the Chorister and given it a counter, but I like the counters having haste. I should have mentioned it. Thanks for bringing it up. But like, I thought about that play, but I was more interested in dropping counters on something that could attack this turn and effectively giving those counters haste. This is going to be plenty scary as a 4/4 threat next turn. Yeah, Mentor could have been a pick as well. I was just thinking of this as an enchantment as opposed to a creature for the purposes of what we're doing here. But now I think we just get to swing away with everything and math is for blockers, etc. I don't even want a visionary. I'm just gonna, like, what does visionary get us? Potential other interaction or something? Yeah, that's fair, James. Yeah, it gets us a card. That's fair. But it means that we can't pump the Chorister, so I wanted Chorister pump threat here. All right, game one is ours. Oh, sorry, my my info down there is so terrible. This is, I'll call it a showdown. And our record is Truth in UI, Ryan. Truth in UI. All right. Blue-red spells with some decent defensive stuff. Looks like some card draw. Yeah. What do we care about a blue-red spells response here? I don't think we're splashing. And you could make an argument for the Gnarled Sage for a little extra reach for expected flyers out of blue. Or we could go lower. Yeah, we could go lower down and just bring Snare Spinner. Let's try Snare Spinner over the 5-drop flying defense. Although I didn't see that much we need to worry about there. Like, what are we cutting for it? Maybe a Surge? No, not Surge. I mean, Rebirth. I'm not played with the, or we can just take the track down out, put the Rebirth, keep the Rebirth in. We do have a Return to Nature. Do we feel like that has any use in this matchup? We didn't see a Capture Sphere, but that's a common card to see. I'm trying to click on the graveyard and not getting there with it. Oh well. I'll go with this. Lofty Denial does suggest a density of flyers that supports the inclusion of a reach creature, but it could also just be a, I got the playables I got, this is what I'm going to go with. This is set up for Flood here, but we are going to keep on the strength of the Mentor these early plays. It's likely to flood out a bit, but we do have some mana sinks too, so... Yeah, especially if you draw another land as your 8th card. Here's one of our mana sinks. Ideally, you get counters going and it's not really a mana sink because you're just doing the 1 mana every time, but at least if needed, you can do the 6 when you flood out a bit. I'm going to offer the Watchdog as more expendable. Bottom of the graveyard frame, I'll keep that in mind. Cool, so we can at least 2-spell this turn. And I'm gonna go Veteran Chorister in case we draw something to add, like we could draw Feat of Resistance, for example, and go Conclave Mentor and then have Feat ready with Chorister Veteran around. That seems great. But I am gonna offer the doggy here. Again, I don't expect the trade, but if we get it, that's cool. Feat is like my dream draw here. I want Feat of Resistance. I don't know. You'll have to tell me, G-Pick, because I mostly keep all this stuff off. In fact, one of my to-do list weekend items here is to update my channel points spending to allow people to turn on the things that I turn off for a game a day. Yeah, if you turn off, if you go disable emotes, I think that includes putting Oppo's pet to sleep. Is that right? I think there's a way to turn it off. Yeah, I think disabling emotes does that. All right, we found a swooper. We're gonna go with that instead here and swoop over with the watchdog. Yeah, James wants a little more fine-tuned control. Some of that comes to UI complexity, just trying to find simplified ways to handle the majority case. All right, so picked up another land there. That Havoc Jester is pretty scary, bigger than anything we've got going. Singer's staying back, though. This can become a 4/4, but that's not 5/5. So we're literally just going to drop a Mentor here and then hope everything lives, and next turn have the Veteran activation ready to put two +1/+1 counters on something, probably our Swooper. Tutelage. Well, we've got a big aggro start here, so maybe we can outrace the tutelage. There's so much card draw in the format that card can absolutely get out of hand quickly. I'm not looking to double block. I'd rather attack with tempered... Ooh. Hello, friend. All right. Now I think we just make a massive Wildwood Scourge this turn, and then see what happens next. We got to be careful, though. They've shown counter magic, and they do have a flyer. I can't really get the flyer off unless... I mean, we could send in the Swooper and decide that's worth it. Probably is. I like Matt's observation that... and they probably don't block, though, because of the Veteran. We can probably get away with attacking with multiple things. Actually, the Gestures holds the ground pretty well. But yeah, let's send in the Swooper because we're happy to get that flyer off the board. And also our Veteran is a big threat of activation. The other thing we could do is cast this such that we could actually pay the 4, and then it only becomes like a yeah, we could have pumped anyway, but I'm gonna bait the counter. I think if one of these is that counter spell, we can also just, again, we can play this with a 1. It becomes a 2/2, but then it becomes a 2/2 that that starts getting bigger. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's play around the counter spell and only do this for 1, because then we have the Tempered Veteran activation anyway. No pause whatsoever, so it looks like they don't have the counter, but I'm happy we played conservatively there. I think at 19-13, even though we're up against a tutelage, I think we this sets us up pretty well. Rocket is concerned. Rocket's gotten off easy so far today. This is easily Rocket's least favorite day of the year. He wouldn't be able to identify it by name or date, but I can identify it for him. This is his least favorite day of the year. Exactly. So now we get to grow the Scourge. Try to. A lot of open mana here. 3 cards. 21 cards we have to use as our pseudo life total here. We're definitely playing all of our lands with all the stuff we've got to do now. And what are we sending with? Can we send into the Jester? If we send into the Jester and like the Watchdog gets counters or something, I guess we, again, with the Mauler, we don't really mind. We wouldn't necessarily mind the Jester, but I think we go... send in the Scourge, Swoopra, and leave everything else back. They can trade for the Scourge here, but it will cost them their Jester, which I'm willing to do because it'll unlock the ground. Yeah, that's our plan, is to grow the Swooper. Make it a 5/4. And then the Scourge becomes big. And we lose the Scourge awesomeness, but in exchange for a Jester, which I'm happy to do. Oops, not... Oh, that would have been a punt for the ages. Not the activated ability we want here. If the Swooper gets knocked out from under this ability, it could all go horribly wrong here. Glad you're having fun, Matt. I turned Matt into a coffee roaster. Have you gotten your roaster yet? I promised Matt a little one-on-one video chat time to bring him up to speed on coffee roasting. All the little tidbits. I fixed mine though, Matt. I'm back in business. I don't know if you caught that stream, but I have now twice fixed my $400-ish coffee roaster with under $30 parts. Feels good, man. Feels good. Yeah, it does not take long for you to be completely ruined on all other coffee. Yeah, that's not the best, but it's okay. It's okay. We have 19 life, and we still have this veteran and this mentor looking to turn anything we've got into quite a threat. The Chorister can become a 3/3 lifelinker next turn. Then we can untap and threaten to make it a natural 5/5 or a temporary 6/6. Oh, and then we have Feet of Resistance saying, lols. For 5, 6, 7, though, does mean we can't 6 plus 2. We don't have that mana, but we do have 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can actually do all three of these, which is going to be pretty good, I think. Because we can attack in basically with impunity. Actually, I guess we just send in the Chorister. Doggo gets in, but only, like, if we send both of these, the doggy might have to be let go. Yeah, I don't like Crab eating the dog is my problem. I like just sending the Chorister, and actually they could put everything on the... Yeah. If we send in the Chorister, we can save it, right? It's true that the doggy is really just becoming an enchantment on the Mauler in that case. So the fail case is all right. I'm going to attack with the Watchdog because of the observation about the strength of the fail case. If they literally put everything on the chorister, we give it pro red. Especially the fact that the aura, the quote aura that we're putting on the Mauler in the form of the Watchdog grows, you know, makes it a veteran target is nice too. Yeah, we kill the crab if we want to give up the chorister, but let's see. This is 5. We could do pump chorister, save dog. That's another thing we could do with our turn. You want to play the Mauler? Then we have to let the doggy go. No, we can save both. We can pump the chorister and save it, and then Feat of Resistance the dog and save the dog and Mauler later. That's what I'm saying. And if we do that... Nah, it uses all of our mana. I'm going to stick to the plan. I'm going to go with our baseline plan here. I'm fine with this result. I think this is good. $15 cards left. A bunch of card draw might get him out of this if they go back to back. If she goes back to back, like, well, Opt is okay, but I meant like the rain of, you know, the rain one. Tap to add counter, because then I lose the veteran. I did not want to trade my veteran, or sorry, I did not want to trade my chorister for the wizard. That's why I did what I did. If I missed that play and I had a different line, I didn't see it. Possible I'm putting too much value on the chorister in a game where my life total doesn't matter, so that's fair. And kind of just sending everything but the veteran, because if they put a bunch of stuff on this, it means these are getting through, which is great, right? Like, they can stack up to kill the mentor, but then I think that's good for us. Chorister is must block or it's lethal, barring bounce or something up here. Oh, good question. Yeah, a creature, not another. But a good call out to check. Right on, D. Glad you're here. All right, so they are going for the mentor death, and again, I think this is fine for us. We can't pump it enough to kill the crab, so we are going to go for this singer and call this a fine result. We could also... Actually, hold on. You can make an argument for doing a 1, you know, just making the Mauler get him to 1 and just letting the singer live, but I like killing the singer. And let's take out a blocker. John says get him to 1. I say get a blocker out, and it's like it's better than 3 with 1 fewer blocker seems better to me than 1 with 1 extra blocker. Oh, that's true. It was dying already. Good point. Yeah, it was a mistake. Should have taken extra damage. My bad math. punt away. Lead the punting, D. I'll give you that one. That was just a mistake. Clear mistake. But prowess, I guess if they use prowess, that would be okay too. Matt points out that you could make the argument that you're just playing around prowess, but I think I'm playing around my mental lapse here. But we couldn't have responded to the prowess trigger if we were going to use the veteran to pump one of our pump the unblocked creature instead. 10 cards, and this is like could be the difference. There's Dionysus, wondering where you went. Missing your chance. Hey, look. It's this thing. And yeah, this gets to add a counter, so we'll throw this out, send in, and it's a must block, and there's a good counter target for us. Something has to die, so the Mauler's going to get a counter as well. Well, we don't know what this card is. Maybe this is the difference maker, but at 9 cards, this is tight. Kitty is a target. Not the Chorister isn't, but when the Mauler comes, we'll get the Sanctuary going. Doesn't matter too much, but a little extra life is all right. No, we didn't get an enchantment destroying Mutt, but we do have the naturalize effect in the board that we can bring in if it goes to a 3. Oh, you did it immediately, D. Okay, we're just a little behind on each other. Gotcha. Dionysus does not want me thinking that he was not at the ready with the punt. Oh, land won't hold priority? Yikes. That's ridiculous. I'll do it just in case. But that's like a bug. Six cards. We could still lose. Draw 3 and we're done for. Because they got blocks. But we'll play this ahead of sending. And we can... I guess we could send the veteran and get him to 2. Because they have to block these. They're forced blocks. And both of these are lethal to that. But we also have 6 mana that we could just put for Mentor. Yeah, let's set her to 2. If this is like bounce, this could backfire, but I think they have to just take all this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can do everything we need, so I'll sandbag the planes. Come on, let's get there. Notch that first win. Please! Don't draw a million cards! We could die right now. Oh my god! Nice. So I screwed up. That punt cost us the win, probably. Costly. Let's bring in our Return to Nature and try to get him in this final game. With that, I'm less interested in like Snare Spinner on defense. That's fine. They can mill the Nature's Charm if we're putting on some good aggro. Purple Monkeys didn't like the 5-5 trade. It opened up a ton of attacking on the ground. Perhaps if I'd been patient for another turn, it would have made a difference in the long run. But certainly hard to see there. Because I also think it would have still traded off one more turn later. I'd have to watch it again. D. I'm encouraging you to punt when I make the one punt, but why are you punting me again? No. Now you're getting timed out, friend. It's not how that works. I've told you, you cannot campaign. You can do it, and that's how it works, and then you let it go. Y'all could make D's day if you just punt me when he does. We should find out when his birthday is and just punt me all day long. Regardless. Punt, you mispronounced that card name. All right, let's get a nice opener and curve out here. Don't want to lose to this mill nonsense. This is a good game, though. And this is a good starter. It's all up to you, James. Punts are for the people. We'll go for the Hollow Blade. And now have to pass priority every single time, all the time. Not much to do about a manaless discard effect, though. Yeah. Whenever one or more cats you control deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So I'm certainly not counting on this, but it's not nothing. All right. I didn't mention how badly we needed a land there, but we found it. We're going to play that. We're going to send in. Hope we connect. And then I'm going to drop the Visionary so that we both increase our chance of finding our fourth land and set up to multi-spell next turn. Potentially Sovereign, Kitty, and Doggy, you know? Well, I could Razor, but they undo every turn. Temporary stops are not where it's at. Cat first is a good point, but also there's a good argument for sandbagging this of like not letting him know we have it. But you're right. If we drop this, they just can't really play it into it. But I still like, generally, you know, play your mana dorks on curve if you can. Surge is a cool trick to have in our back pocket here. Allows us to send in with both if we want, and then use the Surge. If we want to drop the Kitty, like, I was hoping to find a fifth land and then have, like, 2 spell options that involved the Sovereign. I am liking the idea of getting the Sovereign down, but I think we can start with a double attack. And, yeah, we do want the Mentor before the Surge. That's true. We could just, we don't need to save it. How about we attack with just the Hollow Blade, and we still just double spell, yeah. Because then we don't need to use our Surge right now, and we can go Mentor Doggy. It's not particularly blockable, huh? Unless your opponent can see your hand and know how painful it might be for you to do it. Oh, sorry, it's on me. I got distracted with my meme box here because it was on the wrong setting. Hopefully we got him scurred. I'm glad these inventories are getting cast before that pesky enchantment is out. Oh man, feet is gonna be even better for us here than Invigorating Surge because we can play the doggy and the feet this turn. And we can send everything. It's all good. We trade off the doggy, we'll save the mentor, and we can save the Hallow Blade by discarding. Yeah, leaving Visionary back to be able to do both Resistance and Alpine Watchdog here. All right, I got to tell you a little story about what happened yesterday on stream, too. My musical theme yesterday was songs with dogs barking in them for the week. And as a joke, I made a short, you know, 4-second clip of the beginning of Who Let the Dogs Out, followed by a record scratch. And I just made it so that I could play it before my actual final song of the day to kind of pump fake chat into thinking that I had selected the Baha Men hit as the musical selection of the day, and then realized that I could also use it as a meme for when I was casting dog spells in the game. And first I'll show you the clip, and then I'm going to show you what happened yesterday. I am going to go ahead and save the Hallow Blade. Actually, we could just do it with feet, if they're going to be that way about it. Yeah, I'm in for that. I could discard the cat, but actually, I'm fine with just using the feet there. I think that's good for us. We have another trick back. And having this be a 5/3 discard to indestruct is real nice. Anyway, so here's what I did yesterday. Where is it?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs?
And then here's what happened yesterday. It was incredible. Also, it was the second I hadn't used that all day. It was like, oh yeah, I have this effect. I can use it. I don't even know. I was saying I don't know how the mentor surge math even works. I suppose we could read. We could, like, try and read. Puts 2 on, then doubles, then adds 1, says James. Okay. And we could swoop here instead. We could just swoop and attack. I mean, they're at 10. Launching And now I'm just going to attack with everything and use the invigorating surge. Yeah. Just checking the scene. We did not see in the first two games the uncommon bounce spell. Yeah, thank you. Unsubstantiate. Denial would be a blowout, but you know, even successfully stopped here, like if their best case is that they deny what we're about to do here and go to 1, that seems fine. And we are going to go for a win here. All right, we got there. Let me go report the result. That was last minute edition Katana. Is that right? But I do not... oh, Kanata. Sorry. Excuse me, Kanata. Good game, Kanata. D's like, in case you want to punt Ryan all day long, that's the day for it. Thanks, D. All right, Ham TV is up next. I think we're already buds, because we played before, didn't we? Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. Limited tournament match. Yep. All right. Happy to have one win under our belt. We're looking for another match win to qualify for the next round. Top 4 in this event play in a finals against the top 4 from the previous pod. And every 2-1 and the 1-3-0 are the ones that advance. Oppo going first. I wish we were going first with this hand, but it looks nice. We got Chorister, Hallowblade, track down land if we need to. Get to Acolyte hopefully on 4. Thank you, Lola Man. Are you out? Why aren't you playing? Why am I being hosted by our host? I figured you were playing. Oh, maybe you're not playing today. That's probably why. I didn't actually notice who all I was drafting with. Hello! Thank you, Lola. Well, we don't get to attack with a Chorister, but I'm going to drop the Hallowblade and hope to luck into the 3rd land and not have to track it down. We love it. Yeah, nobody seemed to want to be in green-white, and we got mentors on the wheel and stuff. So we were a white-red early, and then a super late green-white mentor convinced us to pivot. All right, natural land off the top is where we want to be here. We did not get there, but this is not a bad backup plan. Are we willing to trade a card in hand for a Thallid when it's just going to make a 1/1 that also blocks the Hallowblade well? I think we should track down a land. I think that's super important here. So this our big one of our final deck building decisions was 16 land and track down or 17 land. Well, we're getting a little punished for that right now, but at least we should be able to find what we're looking for, and we get to scry and decide what else we want. I think I'm going to put both of these down because we want to find even more land. So I'm going to bottom the stuff that's not land and hold the sands here. And nice to get a tap land because we couldn't really do anything with the mana anyway. And I really feel like we are going to get this thing to be able to eventually attack through the Thallid, and I don't care about this Pegasus that much. We could attack and just pitch the Peggy to get this Thallid off the table. I'm going to do that. I'm willing to do it. And it looks like the ham wants to race on some level, or doesn't want to do that. Yeah, the Visionary is somewhat land-like, but I do want to draw just natural land, and I'm going to try and give us the best chance to do that. Zombie. All right, found the natural land, and we could... Now I like potentially acolyting up, but we still have a good attack without putting a counter on this. So let's actually attack first and then decide what we're going to play after, depending on whether or not Ham blocks the Hallowblade. All right, so I'm going to... This is probably going to be... what I'm expecting here is a night thing. Like, he's going to sack the zombie for draw 2, but... we have to make him do it, so fair enough. If we dump Visionary, we can't... Yeah, maybe so. Let's see. Can't two-spell anyway. But since something died, let's... Well, we can use all our mana if we Mauler. We just don't get a bonus mentor thing out of it, and I'm okay with that. And then next turn, if we find land, we can Visionary Mentor. Bolt! Like in a Disney movie here. That's bad to see. Probably means this Bolt Hound is going to combine with like a Shock to take down the Mauler, but we're still going to do it. We're still going to make this block here. Sure Strike. Too bad it's not a 2-for-1, but again, we had to make the block. And hopefully we find a land here and we can start getting ourselves back in the right direction with lifelink and counters. All right. Do we have a turn, the turn off needed? Or do we just need to Acolyte now to get some life back with the Chorister? We could also just, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Visionary Conclave makes sense to me because I'm willing to throw the Visionary in front of these again. And definitely sending the Chorister might leave the Hallowblade back to threaten a block here. But I am willing to throw the Visionary in front. But let's keep 2 back. We're on the back foot here, trying to turn the corner and put it back in our favor. And I think that means holding back the blade and being ready to trade Visionary for Hollow Blade Indestructibility. That's gonna give him some bad news. This Acolyte making the Chorister a 3/3 on the strength of the Mentor ability is kind of where we turn this around. 3/3 that pumps into a 6/6 lifelink is how we want to manage this. Yeah, the information doesn't suck, but it was bad news, right? And on that front, we're gonna try this and this. And we'll pitch to the Hallowblade, and next turn we still have Acolyte on Chorister and Hallowblade. Hey, Cardinator. Yeah, we're doing a streamer showdown. Oh, wow. Oh, it's their cards. Okay, it's just theirs at least. But still, I thought it was going to be more than that. Pride Malkin. Well, we're starting here. And yeah, Hallowblade's got to get bigger. Hallowblade could swing, but they would just chump. I'm gonna say no attacks. We're gonna try and get some lifelink hits in next turn if we can avoid dying this turn. Big hand infusion for Ham off the standard bearer. And are we willing to trade anything for it? If we go to 5, could we be dead to any known tricks and stuff? I think we're pretty safe. I would rather wait a turn and try to trade off this Pride Malkin for the standard bearer after we've thrown a counter around. So I'm going to take a risky 4 here and see if Ham's going to do anything else about it. Could, like, double sure strike and kill us, you know? But I think we got to... I'm going to say no block. Yeah, it could be a Burn Bright deck. Would that be enough? That wouldn't have killed us, at least. I was thinking about the Mentor trade, but Malkin works with the Mentor, so we took it risky for one more turn's worth, and I think it's going to pay off. We can kitty the Acolyte, double the counters there, and have quite a horde of lifelinkers. Oh yeah, darn, that was bad. That was real distracted play. Sorry, major punt. Having this indestructible is obviously big game, but we are going to make things bigger than the Devils. Yeah, sorry. Bad habits coming to bear. Bad habits coming to bear. Still gonna make a threatening lifelinker here, though. And they may not even be able to go for the Hallowblade anyway. Like, if they go for the Pitchburn Devils, they might have to go for the Chorister. Oh, Cardboard Live isn't on. Thanks for the reminder. Let's make that better for you all. Oh, all right. Well, that's gonna make my little punt fairly moot. That was brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We do have Kitty on Standard Bearer as I planned, but now we've got to go Mentor on Devils to not kill it so that we can untap with a Howlblade that can be indestructible and a Chorister that can gain us 6 life. Oh, it means that I do that a lot, D. That I have a bad habit of playing a land unconsciously, and coming to bear means it arrived and hurt me. So my bad habit showed up at an inopportune time and cost me. But this is going to be my attempt to survive here. Couple life back doesn't hurt either. Forgot that. Now, do we play a Mentor and have another blocker, or do we need... well, regardless, like, we have to get 12. We got to get to 12 here. How do they kill their own devil? I miss how they killed their own devil. Hold on. Let's get a life swing. What was it, though? Oh, the Soul Seer. Yeah. But did they use that removal to enable the attack? I'd have to look at that board again to understand the way it all went. And let's see, we can take the... So we got to activate and gain the life. One of the big plays of the game was really us discarding a card while Ham sacrificed an impendingly dead creature to the village rites. That really filled up the hands in a way that has made it tough to overcome the card advantage and the pressure that Ham was showing by being first on the scene here with going first, on the play. Here, though, we're gonna trade off for a Devils. The Mentor in our hand, that is. Yes, we're up. We are 1-0 on matches. The record down there is correct. Wow. All right. For low-down aggro, that's a heck of a card to play, but it's going to get us. I'm not even going to show this. We're just dead. We have the light ability to splash shocks. There's a lot going on here that shock could mess with. Kind of like... something like that. Give up on the Sanctuary for this match to add a little red splash. Maybe that's too greedy. Shock seems good, but splashing in this kind of deck is quite greedy. What do you think? Give me some feedback, folks. Would you do it? A lot of what they're doing early is 2 toughness. Yeah, I'm coming off of it. I wanted to see what it looked like, but I don't like it on 2. So I'm going to undo that. And we can even add back in our rare land. And maybe we do add like another plains. Yeah, revitalize. Spinner. This might get him. There's a lot of removal. I'm going to go Fungal Rebirth. We might get him. Oh, I need 2, actually. So we'll just revert to our original. Actually, I wish... we're already in. If we go to game 3, I'm going to take out that 2-mana scry, draw a land or creature. It feels too slow against what Ham is doing. Pegasus is okay. Like, it, you know... We can keep this at least. I'm going to start on Doggy over Veteran because we don't have anything with natural counters yet, so this is quite a ways away from being relevant right now. Two black from a deck like that is somewhat representative of a possible Grasp of Darkness, but we'll make them have it. And we got a nice 2-spell next turn. It's not even that big of a loss for us anyway. I'm going to take the race offer for right now because we have Vigilance. We can trade next turn if we feel like it. James said, we got people saying Snap Block. We're trying to be beat down though, and we get to 2-spell next turn and attack, and but it is while shields are down. You can't do the take the card or anything. All right, I'll take the offer, but I don't love it. There's a close one. Now our dream draw is just like anything for our mana. Like Visionary, Elvish Visionary into something else would have been ideal, but no. Flooding out with our 16 lander. At least made him use premium removal on that. Now I'm going to hold land to have fodder. Now we gotta. Now we're gonna lose 2. Nobody told me I was supposed to bring in enchantment removal. Or artifact removal. I don't even know what you mean by that. No, I guess not. No, if, like, you mean the ones I'm using? They like, you'd have to look up how they distributed them. If they distributed them as a special event, then no, they probably wouldn't. But who knows? I don't know if they just said these are exclusive or not. If they said they're exclusive, then no. If they said they aren't, then probably someday, yeah. I'm gonna get... the kitty back for no value here so I can cast it this turn. Or the veteran. Let's get the veteran back. It's probably too slow here, but it's a chance. And given that change in play, I didn't need to play the land, but at least understand that when I played the land is because I thought I was going to get and play the kitty. Yeah, kitty kills the equipment if we can attack with it, but I'd rather just try to get our Hallow Blade big enough to do the job. And gotta sacrifice Hallow Blade. Got rolled. Thought our deck was great. Ham's making it look bad. Maybe Ham's just making me look bad. Yeah, all right. I don't... Wow. Not even close. That was just an embarrassing thrashing that I don't know what to do about. Our deck is good. Why was it that bad? I made a couple of punts, but boy, we just looked dismal. We looked like we didn't know what we're doing. Yeah, you punted me, but nothing mattered. I might as well have taken a brief nap while Ham goldfished my face. And like that last game where it's like, and let me empty my hand with a tap out 7-drop to empty my hand is just like the chef kiss of... Hey, Mensch. My deck is great. This is maybe the best deck I've drafted in the format, honestly. My deck is great. It is missing removal, but it doesn't need it if it can be aggro enough. But I guess that's its big weakness. If it falls back, it's hard to recover if it falls on the back foot. And I fell on the back foot against Ham twice, and there was no getting out of it. All right, I'm going to attack. Well, I hope to attack Mobius, but I'm going to start with a challenge. Too late to show you the deck, but it's green-white count tokens, +1/+1 counters. Here's our punishment for Sanctuary, because this absolutely would be a Plains if it were not a Sanctuary. But with Visionary and being on the draw, I'm going to keep this. We have any land gets us Visionary on 3, which is good enough to do a greedy keep here. My punt was costly against Ham? In what way? Like, it cost my pride. There was no way we were winning any of those games. Maybe I'm getting too overwhelmed by the second game, and the first game was a little closer than I'm giving it credit for, but I don't think it cost us. Yeah, that was the one big punt. I played out I played out a land when I should have. Every other land play I had a reason for, except for that one. Not again. Mobius. Et tu, Mobius. Not like this. Now, we can play the Mauler and threaten a double block, but if we do, we are basically setting us up for a blowout in the event of a trick. I might take it one more time, depending on what happens here, if the weird gets set up. Yeah, that's just terrible. Ugh. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Man, what a play format. Like, not having the planes hurts, but being on the draw is hurting worse. Yeah, I suppose if we had a Watchdog on 2, that would have helped. Starting on 3 really hurt me here. And maybe that's just a lesson that I need to mulligan until I have something on 2. But we did have 2 shots at white. The trouble is, like, now I'm just, like, on give up the visionary to force that. Jeez, don't make me do that. All right, Mobius, see ya. Yeah, I'll force it here. This is winning in for the next event, yep. Getting depressed now, folks. Just sucks to feel unwinnable on turn 3 or whatever. Track down out, planes in for sure. Oh. Yeah, we can take... Well, no, I think we want the choristers and the 1-3. But we could cut... Yeah, 1 Mauler could go. I think that's fair. Spinner, snare spinner over a chorister, possibly. We're going to be on the play, though. Like, chorus... Yeah, maybe we go drop down 1 chorister for another snare spinner, for another early defender, early blocker, if we need it. I mean, we're going to be on the play this time. No, it's not about the flyer. It's just about actually having a 1-3 for 2. The flying is somewhat less relevant to just having earlier creatures to stick. We could bring in a Prismite as a 2/1, for example, instead. Although that's shockable, which he showed us shocks. So I'm going to go with this. All right, Magic Gods. I know Mobius is just joking around, but let me shove his BM down his throat, please. No, I went to 17 lands. I kept the Sanctuary in, but added a Plains. He's just being intentionally, you know, he's just trying to have fun. I'm just a cranky old man. Don't like risking this Mentor so early, but we're gonna run it out. Probably gonna get shocked, but I'm not gonna not play a 2-drop. Yeah, he's a lighthearted guy. He was just doing it lighthearted, and I'm a curmudgeon. That's all. Argument for surging the Mentor if he taps out for something not removal here. Yeah, like I would put this out of burn range ASAP if given the chance. But we made him have it, and he had it. I'm going to keep taking the 1 from the Arsonist. I will certainly offer that up, though. No real 2-spell opportunity if we don't attack or anything, so... Well, I suppose there's Cast Visionary, maybe we have a 2. But I like leaving all this mana up and offering the attack. Oh yeah, D? Let's see, do we have 1-drops? We do, so let's leave a Plains up in case of Chorister, or 1/3. Absolutely, Seguin, and if you're if you're suggesting that Mobius didn't, I think Mobius did, and assumed that I would take it the way he intended, which is all in good fun. And I'm trying to. Mobius, if Mobius is utterly forgiven from my perspective, I'll say that. I got no problem with Mobius. He's just having fun, folks. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana possible if we want to tap out our Visionaries. We could... No, we can't attack if we want 7 mana. We could Feline Sovereign and Visionary. Here's the Plains we added, by the way. Yeah, I kind of like Vision, see what we get as a starting point. That is entirely fair, and I have a Plains to drop if we need to, so I'm going to do it like this. Although, actually, we have a lot of green, huh? So I should do it like this. Yeah, there we go. That's another possible play that we could consider that allows us to send in an attack for 2. But we could also just drop Sovereign. I'm going to do that. Drop Sovereign and leave a blocker. Can't do Cat and Peggy by my math, but I'll take Kitty. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana now. If we wanted 9, we probably don't. That's a nice Acolyte. You stole our Acolyte. Ooh, cool frame. How do we get these? Maybe I didn't buy the right package or something. So now what? We got the Surge that I want available for 3. We could drop this and have... I want attacks. I'm going to play the land so that I can swoop a Visionary, or swoop the Sovereign even, and attack with it, maybe. Oh, is it Mastery Pass? Why would you do it that way? Let's do it like this. And with Shock mana up, I am going to go for the Kitty, although we do have the Invigorating Surge. We could do it with whatever we want. I'm going to make Big Cat, though. I say Big Cat because I thinking I may end up Invigorating Surge it here. Casting Invigorating Surge on it. And we're not attacking with a Visionary, so we actually have Surge plus Peggy. I'm going to leave Surge up, though. Yeah, that's why I'm going to leave Surge up. That's why I'm not going to... Yeah, we have an instant, though. Too bad we didn't get a free artifact kill there. I think we put 2 on the Immolators. Oh, it has Prowess, so that could be part of what's going on. I kind of like double blocking the Acolyte. And this could be, of course, like another Sure Strike. Sure Strike. I think Sure Strike, not Burn Bright, but not sure. We could put this here and yeah, we do have, well, if we don't block though, we might be dead. I like this and make him do something. I don't care too much about any of these 3 creatures, and if it proves worth it, we can save them with Invigorating Surge. We do have to keep in mind here, yeah, the Surge now is not castable. If we let these die, right? So last Hourglass. I guess we Surge and make him use the Immolator now, and we can put it on like the Pegasus. And that's it. If he wants to use it on the Pegasus, okay, you know, that's not the worst thing that's ever happened, and we're basically using this as a removal spell for the Immolator. Maybe they don't have to because it doesn't trade. The Pegasi don't trade, but it is a tempting target for the Immolator. Yeah, no, this is on purpose. This is trading. This is using Surge as removal for a very good Immolator. Now they're down low on cards, and we can leave Sovereign back to handle Acolyte. We can race in the air with the Swooper. We can offer up Visionary for the Arsonist and 2 spell at the end of this attack. Or we could even... Yeah, I'm going to leave everything back with the Swooper. Okay, that's good. I was ready to use 6 here, but thanks to the Malkin draw, we only need to use 1. We're gonna, and we get a Pride Sovereign bump. So yeah, we get to go Malkin on Swooper. And then we will be a little bit more defensive now and try to work up to the point where the Veteran takes over in a long game here. Yeah, I see no attacks right now. No, Swooper is playing D against these opposing flyers at our life total. But we may get to the point where we start. Ah, excellent. Brilliant. Now, where do we want this? Yeah, Cat Lord for sure. Then where else? I like Vigilant Doggy. And do we have attacks? We could trade Malkin off, and that wouldn't be the worst, although they have a good block there with that. Send Cat Lord and Cat? Why do we want to do that, though? They actually have blocks, right? I think we are patient. Oh, you're just talking about where to put the counters. Yeah. We're going to say no attacks for a turn. I don't like sending the dog here either. I think if we're just patient for a turn and use the Veteran to get something bigger before we untap and then have it for next attack, we'll be in amazing shape. How am I doing on time? I gotta watch myself with these matches. Although this is a good format for me on best of 3 in these match timers because it's so aggro. I've been managing in traditional and best of 3. Interesting. They're out of cards, so this is all known info for us. This can become a 6/5 and eat that. So 6/5 blocks here, 3/4 blocks here. We take the Arsonist so that it can't kill and then we just take 3. Yeah, I think this is kind of... The key is not letting the Arsonist die here. And I like getting aggro now. We're going to get lifelink out of this and a massive punch in the face. Did I play a land there? I didn't think I played a land. If I did, I thought we just drew the Hallow Blade. I don't know what land you're talking about, D, but we actually needed our mana there. I want 6 mana with this deck because of the veteran. So I'm always going to play 6 out in this deck anyway. Unless the Howled Blade is already out and needing defense. Not really. I was just playing the math is for blockers. And certainly, even if I had done the math, I wouldn't have attacked with the 1-2 because the 1-2 was more valuable. It was just as valuable putting a counter on something as it was for... Oh, okay. You're talking about Mobius. I don't know. You'll have to go ask Mobius. All right. Well, the sideboarding helped a little. We saw some more flyers. Concordia Pegasus. That does make me happy to have a Snare Spinner in the deck. We could even consider the Sage, but I like topping at 4. Do we need anything returned to nature? No, we connected. Oh, well, there's this Furor, but I'm not running that just to do that. All right, I think we just run this back and cross our fingers. This is it, folks. Win and in. Either Mobius or I will advance to the next round based on who wins this one single game. Good luck, Mobius. Yeah, I like we added the 1 spider, and that's fine. Well, having fun right now, no matter how it resolves. I got a little bitter there as I was losing to Ham, because that was some... we went ham indeed, and that was a little hard to take with pride. But I've got my good humor back, and I'm going to fade this no matter how it goes. If Mobius gets us, we're going to salute and move on. If we can advance to the next round, that would be awesome, too. No, I don't stoop to that level. Ham is out. Was Ham 0-1 when we played him? He pulled a 1-1 against us? Wow, who did Ham lose to in the first round? Okay. Happy to have that be what is shocked, given the rest of our hand. Found a 3rd land, too. That is nice. Not going to start on a Mentor. We'll save that for when we're going to counter up. And go Watchdog here. Good doggy. Interesting attack from Mobius. There's too many things that punish us, including the white mana +1/+0 draw a card, which we passed and didn't end up with, so I'm not going to block here. Yes, and well, it wasn't even hate drafting, right, Fiddles? We thought we were red, but apparently everybody in this event thought they were red. So this is an interesting spot. We do have the Invigorating Surge we could use to have the Watchdog survive the Arsonist. We could also just play out the Mentor. If Mobius has removal, the Mentor will die. But if not, then we get to untap and potentially do Mauler stuff or Double Spell or whatever. I think you just want to put the Veteran out, and if the Veteran dies, that's okay. That's fair, too. Yeah, it is somewhat like, what do we want to give up here? Mobius down to 2 cards. We could also just attack, offer the trade for the Arsonist, and feel like our 4 cards to their 2 is going to be better. You know, so there's that possibility. But I want to do that. I'll make that offer when the Mauler gets something out of it. I'm going to say no attacks, and I'm going to... I'm going to mentor. I'm going to risk it. The reason I'm mentoring is because we get immediate value from the Invigorating Surge if the mentor is in play. And we don't have any value for the Veteran unless we do Surge tap for Veteran. I'm risking the mentor. If it lives, we're in great shape. If it dies, well, it's going to trade for a card, and we still have a pretty decent hand after that. Yeah, let me find the bracket link for you. I linked it earlier, but... Or maybe... Can somebody find the bracket link? If not, I'll look in a second. Oh, thank you so much. Animal Sanctuary is actually an interesting play here. We can certainly put it out, and now if we add a counter, this becomes a 4/4. And we can send in the doggo, and they can decide. We can also let it die and play the Mauler, for example. And with them tapped out, 2-for-1ing off of a land seems great. So we can also full control and not kill the Arsonist, and then we get everything. So let's do that. This is a little trick that you gotta keep in your back pocket in these situations. But remember, you need to go full control to be able to do it. So go in full control, order the thing you want dead first. And then we're going to counter up the doggy. Oh, do I need to remove auto-assign too? Jeez. That is, that is persnickety. I think full control should just give me full control. Yeah, Surge could have done it too. I like doing it for a land though, Matt. Like, we did it for a land. That was like free. Could be a ploy to kill our doggy. I'm gonna race, that's fine. Let's race Mobius. Rocket, shut your trap. We could Visionary to find a card, but I just like having Tempered Veteran and Invigorating Surge ready here. Yeah, Sure Strike could be the thing. Invigorating Surge plays around Sure Strike on Arsonist nicely, so we're going to send in both and try to... Right? Let's see. Wait, maybe it doesn't. I should read. Put +1/+1 counter target creature you control. So then it would become 2. And then it would double to 4 and be 5. And 5... 5 is not enough, right? Because then it's 4, and then it dies. Oh, it's 7/7? Did I get it wrong? Oh, right, that's the number of counters. So we put 4 counters on it, it becomes 6/6. I was just counting the counters. It actually does become big enough. Okay, excellent. Here I am, trying to win combat with only the counters I'm about to add. $11 on Hound is cute, but we'll start here and see if they've got the Sure Strike, which I'm kind of expecting. Everybody had to trade everything, though, and I like where we land here with the veteran. I just don't do that. I will not become what I don't like. Why is auto tap matter here? Yeah. And I'll play the 6th land. Now we get the sure block. Yes. We are getting revenge on the early GG. This is GG no matter what, because we throw counters on the unblockables, unblocked, and that's enough. All right. Good game, Mob. Right on time with the GG there. Nice. Well, good to have a nice showing in this event. I punted my way to a 2-1, and that was good enough to advance. Thank you so much, Lola Man, for organizing this. You know, I know some of my mods are around here, like Mama and Hat, and I know Nantuko is not here right now, but those of you who get heavily involved in helping me with the Friday chat gauntlet, just process what Lola Man is doing for this Magic streamer community by coordinating a 3-event, 16 streamer coordinated draft. Oh my god. I don't even know how you do it, Lola Man. It's a good thing there are a lot of cats in this set, because you are a cat herder, to be sure, and surely appreciate your efforts on that front. It's really fun to be able to battle against such incredible talent, such awesome streamers, and I'll get to this as long as I'm talking. Awesome streamers, and tough competition. That was really great to both draft in pod against great competition and then play out that pod against the players we played against. It's like drafting in 1998 or something. Anyway, awesome, good times. Happy to have made the next round of events. And yeah, it looks like James is wrangling up a draft in the Discord after. If some of you are watching and are not familiar with my incredible Discord, it is hopping with drafters almost at all times. So if you want to do what we did today and draft on mtgadraft.herokuapp.com, my Discord and the incredible community therein is a great place to do it. So Mobius is sorry for the misplays. No problem. Thanks for helping make me feel human, Mobius. I did some. I had some imperfect play along the road here today as well, as chat was happy to remind me of. Anyway, and I'm happy they do. Boy, I often say one of the things I was not expecting about streaming was how great it was going to be for my game, both for improving the game and for getting a little humble about it. It was pretty easy for me to think about what an awesome Magic player I was in 2017 before I had dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of people watching every play I make and pointing out every misstep. And then I was like, it's like, oh, I'm a very good Magic player, but I am not great. I have a long way to go before greatness. And that's been one of the benefits of this for me, is that it's really helped my own game. Marching onwards, improving, hearing from you all how I need to, where I'm messing up has really just gotten me better and better. And if you look at my results since I started streaming, I've climbed up my win rate over time too. And certainly part of that is getting used to streaming and playing. But a lot of that I think is me just actually starting to improve some of the leaks I've had and the leaks that I've ignored because I didn't have a crowd of people helping me find them. So it's been great. And it's been great to tackle high competition in an event like this too. So awesome. Now then, let's find somebody we play today who's still streaming. I'm going to send you on to them, and then some of you can go. Well, we didn't play MTG Nerd Girl or Voxy, but I'm definitely going to send you to somebody we were playing in the same pod as today. So let's send you to MTG Nerd Girl today. Still punting, D. I think I'm going to be punting till I die, buddy. But I know you're going to be here telling me all about it when I do. Oh, is Kanata? Well, let's see. I already started the raid, so it is going to be what it is going to be. But yeah, actually, I'm going to go follow Kanata MTG. I didn't know about Kanata until today, so I'm going to go follow her as well. And say hi to MTG Nerd Girl, though. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube. We'll catch you next time. Bye.